And good evening, football fans, and welcome to the UHSAA 6A football quarterfinals on the Rewind Sports Network, presented by Fluence Media Agency. Tonight, we've got a Region 3 rematch with a trip to Rice-Eccles Stadium on the line as the 7-seeded American Fork Cavemen take on the 2-seed in the Skyridge Falcons. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to you all. Matt Coma alongside Dave Harrison for you on this one. Dave, let's start with the road team tonight. American Fork comes into today after knocking off Lehigh in the second round last week. A dominant defensive performance, and Nate Childs 3 touchdowns to lead the way for the Cavemen.
A big win for them. It's a big step to get to the quarterfinals, and especially against a quality opponent like Lehigh. So, you know, American Fork, they've won a couple of really close games throughout the year, and I think that if they can keep this game close, if they can control some things, make sure Prince Afu gets a ton of touches, kind of flip the switch a little or flip the script a little bit from the last time they played these guys, and instead of throwing for 350, maybe try and run for 200. I think that's what they've got to do to win the game.
American Fork 7-4 on the season. The home team in the 2-seed, Skyridge 8-2, coming off a win against Copper Hills in the second round. A dominant performance both on offense and defense in that game. 63-3, the final score in that one. Skyridge in their 8th quarterfinal matchup in the 10 years of Skyridge football in the history of the school. They are looking for their 8th trip to Rice-Eccles in that time as well. They seem to be humming and are on another tear here in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's amazing that a school that's been around for just 10 years has already built up that kind of a history, and to be 7-0 in quarterfinal games is really impressive. You know, they've got to take care of the ball. Keneal Sweetline, he can take a game over offensively, throwing the ball, running the ball. They've got to do what they did the last time they beat American Fork 3 weeks ago. They've got to run the ball. They've got to be successful that way and then take the shots when they need. I think Skyridge has got an advantage, but I would not overlook this American Fork team. We've seen them play some really good football against some really good teams, and so they're ready for this, and I'm excited. Nothing like Friday night quarterfinal football.
A winner of tonight will head to Rice-Eccles Stadium next week to take on either Davis or Lone Peak. That game tied currently up there in Kaysville. We'll keep you posted on that game throughout the day. As we get set to go, Skyridge won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half. American Fork won the toss, and they will defer to the second half. So Skyridge will get the ball to start. AF in the white uniforms with red helmets. Skyridge in the all gray with the orange trim and white numbers tonight. As we get set for quarterfinal action here on KSL Sports Rewind, as the kick will head to the end zone, and we'll get a touchback to get things going. We'll see the Skyridge offense led by the senior quarterback, Keneal Sweetline.
What a fantastic talent. He's done a great job this year cutting down on his turnovers. He had 14 or 15 interceptions, I think, last year. He's cut those way down. He's taking care of the ball. He's making good decisions. And he's a huge weapon running the ball. And anytime you get into playoffs, especially at this level, and you have a quarterback that can run the football like Keneal can, it's a huge advantage.
So 1st and 10, Skyridge at their own 20 to get things started here tonight. Sweetline with 4 wideouts in the formation on the first play, and they'll hand it off to Lincoln Tahi, the workhorse for the Skyridge offense, and he picks up 2 yards. Who else are we looking at on offense tonight for Skyridge, Dave?
Well, running the football in the playoffs means you can control the game, and so I think Lincoln Tahi is the number 2 most important player on the field for Skyridge offensively. They've got some receivers that are fantastic, obviously, but I think controlling the sticks, controlling the pace of play is a big thing that they've got to do tonight.
Run attempt on second down goes maybe a half a yard, if that, on that one. They bring it up 3rd and 6 here. Looking at the American Fork defense, Dallin Afu leads that defensive front, but a lot of defensive playmakers for the AF defense.
Yeah, I love watching Afu play. He's a difference maker in a football game, and sometimes the guy on the defensive line comes up huge in these types of situations, and I expect he'll have a big game for American Fork tonight.
Sweetline to throw the first time, connects with his receiver over to 30, breaking a tackle out past the 35 and down near the 38 goes number 17. That's Dason Merrill, or Adam Warren, the wide receiver 17. There's 2 17s on the roster.
Warren does a good job Zone defense by American Fork, and he just sat down on the soft spot on the seam. Sweetwine delivered the ball on time, and he picked up 10 yards after the catch.
Pick up a 17 on that one in total. So fake the handoff. Sweetwine keeps it himself for his first carry and lowers the shoulder for another first down.
Wow, he's got another gear. He turned that corner and just strided out, picked up 10 yards in a blink of an eye. Yeah, American Fork has got to control the outside. They cannot let Sweetwine get outside like that, or it's going to be a long night.
Pick up a 12 on that carry for Sweetwine. 1st and 10 now at midfield for the Falcons. On their opening drive, they'll give it back to Tahi, who can't make it out of the first level. Good defense there by the Cavemen. Number 61, that's Dallin Afu in there first.
Tahi does a great job, keeps his legs churning. Even though Afu had a hold of him, he still ended up falling forward and picked up a couple of extra yards. And I like this 5-6 plays into the game. Skyridge has run it every time, but one time on 3rd and 6. Coach understands what you've got to do to win in the playoffs, and controlling the clock like this, controlling the chains like this is how you do it.
Skyridge ran the ball very effectively against American Fork in their last meeting in Week 10 as Sweetwine looks to throw and connects with his receiver on the near side, Hunter Sheffield, for another first down.
Really impressed by Sheffield there. He had a little bit of a corner route, and with that deep shell defense that American Fork is playing, he just kind of throttled it down into the hole, and Sweetwine on the same page connects. Another nice throw and catch for the Falcons.
Pick up a 15, 1st and 10 at the 31 now for Skyridge. Sweetwine again connects near side. And there's a Marion Sanders with another big gain. And Skyridge in the red zone for the first time.
Really good decision there by Sweetwine. He saw the really soft coverage from the corner without any safety help over the top. And just decided, I'm going to take the 5-yard hook route. And he picked up another 5. And they've done that twice. They've just found a 5-yard hole and let their receivers pick up yards after the catch.
Couple of bunch plays now. 1st and 10 at the 15. Sweetwine again to throw. It's going to take a shot for the end zone. Has a man wide open out there and incomplete. Intended out there for Sheffield. Almost had the home run ball there to put points on the board.
Well, yeah, they did a good job. They do a good job of throwing those receiver screens to the outside. And so American Fork has seen that on film, and they came down hard when they saw the outside receiver sit like he was going to catch the ball. Number 2 receiver ran a wheel route, was open, just the first overthrow and completion of the game. I like that play, though. See if they get back to running the ball a little bit.
2nd and 10 to the 15. 4 wide out, set a man in motion, and they'll give it to Tahi. They actually fake it off to Sweetwine, and he will try and navigate his way before he's met by the AF defense. And throw him backwards there. That's number 55 for the Cavemen in their first. Mitt Palmer with the tackle.
Yeah, Palmer making him pay for running the ball. Those are 2 tough yards. I like that, though. You hate to go 1st, 2nd, 3rd down and throw it every time. So looks like some pressure.
AF showing it for a moment. 2nd, 3rd down of the drive here for Skyridge. Need to get to the 5-yard line to move the chains.
Bouncing him out to empty. Look for the middle of the field, number 2 on a bend route maybe. Or quarterback draw.
Sweetwine will look to throw. Surveys, has time, fires right over the middle. Wide open is Talmadge Oswald. Touchdown Falcons.
Really nice patience there. Sweetwine had a couple of guys in route and waited for that delayed slant route by Oswald. Found him wide open right in the middle of the field.
So Skyridge gets on the board first here on their opening drive of the game. Crew Odom on for the extra point. And the kick is good. 8:04 to play. Opening drive, 7 points for the Falcons as they take an early 7-0 lead in the 6A quarterfinals here on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll take a break. Be right back.
Welcome back to the UCCU Savings Spotlight.
Today's play of the day goes to Becky, a single mom who just got her son Max a youth debit card from UCCU.
This is a big win for Max, who knows that UCCU mobile banking makes it easy for his mom to add money to his debit card anytime.
It's also a big win for Becky, who knows it also makes it easy to monitor her child's spending anytime. Final score, 1 happy son, 1 responsible mom.
With the assist from UCCU.
Welcome back, 8:04 to play in our first quarter. Skyridge with a 7-0 lead here on KSL Sports Rewind. Reminder, tonight's game brought to you by Northside Capital and Origin Brand Merch. They're tonight's game day sponsors. Also, Cornerstone Excavation and Development. From the ground up, we build excellence. And that touchdown brought to you by Direct Meds, better at health. So Skyridge wasting no time getting points on the board. They will send this one near the goal line and just gathered right there at the goal line by number 4 for the Cavemen. That's Corbin Bowerly that had a chance to try and return that, but it'll be a touchback, and we'll see the American Fork offense back out on the field, led by the junior quarterback, Nate Childs, who took over the starting job after Capono Manuela went down in Week 7 against Lehigh. He leads this American Fork offense out on the field for the first time.
Yeah, they need to be efficient offensively. They're down. You can't get down 2 or 3 scores to this team. So every single drive in the playoffs are extremely important, especially when you're down. So they've got to take care of the ball, but they've got to move the rock.
1st and 10 from the 20. They give it to Prince Zafu, and Afu scoots his way back to the line of scrimmage, escorted out by number 27 for the Falcons, Tsuka Finau. Had a fumble recovery touchdown against Copper Hills last week for the Skyridge defense.
Yeah, really good job defensively there. Skyridge just stringing that out to the sideline. Didn't give Afu anywhere to go.
So 2nd and 10 after the no gain for Afu. 4 wideouts here for Childs. Skyridge with 4 at the line. They'll rush 4. Childs looking for somewhere to go, and he's going backwards as the Skyridge D gets in there.
Just really relentless pressure. They showed 3 and brought 4. Finau on a twist up front. They just overpowered the offensive line, and American Fork's got a good offensive line. They have got to hold their water. They've got to be able to contain those 4 rushers for Skyridge.
So Childs goes backwards, loss of 17 on that, make it 18. Set 3rd and 18 now.
Yeah, be smart here. You don't want to try and force anything and turn the ball over. You want to at least.
2 wideouts on either side, send Homestead in motion, and Childs with a little bit of time is going to air it out over the middle, connects with his receiver David Dean near the line again, and he's got a 1st down for American Fork.
That's a big-time throw and a big-time catch. David Dean picks up 4 or 5 yards after the catch. Just a nice little sail route. He goes over the middle, climbs it a little bit, gets behind those linebackers, and Childs with a fantastic throw.
Needed 18. They got 22 on 3rd down there. And that moves the chains here.
Got the ball out on time, but he had a little bit more time on 3rd down than he did on 2nd. So perhaps we're going to see a little bit more pressure. When Skyridge brings pressure, they're getting home.
1st and 10 from the 33 here for the Cavemen. They will give this off to Madden Jensen for his first carry of the day, and Skyridge in there to break it up. Griffin Coons with the tackle there for about a gain of 1.
The defensive line looks strong tonight up front for Skyridge. They've done a good job so far containing that run game for American Fork, and we talked about it at the top. American Fork needs to run the football tonight. They've got to be successful moving the chains on the ground, and so far it looks like Skyridge is coming to play up front.
Mentioned the rushing yards for Skyridge in that last meeting. 279 rushing yards for Skyridge in the game, only 58 for the Cavemen. In that Week 10 loss for American Fork. Childs throwing on 2nd down. That one's tipped out of play, almost intercepted. That'll bring up 3rd and 10, intended for number 85, Ty Homestead.
They were a cover 3 kick is what we call it, where the corner typically will sit in the flat, but that time, because there was nobody holding him, he sank backwards into that route. Otherwise, it was a good route, a good call. He just did a good job defensively reading the play and getting back.
Brings up a heroic 3rd down here for American Fork. Childs a throw, pressure coming, fires near side and out of the hands of Dean. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Pretty good throw, just a little bit on the back hip of Dean. Dean got his hands on it. I'm sure he wishes he could have that one back. Pretty good job that time by the American Fork offensive line because they brought a twist inside and 5 on that rush, and American Fork picked them up nicely. So that's a good sign for American Fork.
Jet press switch on for the punt here for American Fork. Briggs Parker all the way back at his own 25 to return. Good kick there by Presswich. Gives Parker a chance to field it at his own 31. He's got some room near side and out past midfield with a convoy of blockers goes Briggs Parker out of the tackle. One more man to beat. He will beat him for the kick return touchdown.
That was the entire punt return team involved on that play. They did their jobs. They stayed on their blocks for a long time. And Parker did a fantastic job of reading his blocks, cutting it back up across the middle of the field and into the end zone.
All said and done, a 69-yard punt return touchdown for Briggs Parker.
That's big time for Skyridge to be able to get points like that off of a special teams play. Their offenses look good, their defenses look good, their special teams look good.
Odom's kick is good. 5:21 to play here in our opening quarter. It's been all Skyridge so far, 14-0 here on the Rewind Sports Network. We'll take a break, be right back.
With affordable GLP-1 medication from Direct Meds, I've lost weight but gained lots of attention. From old college boyfriends, hi, to young college boys. Oh, honey. And my husband's obsessed.
She loves to make me jealous.
Well, as a woman over 50, losing weight was about as hard as getting my husband to cook anything but cereal.
Honey, where's the milk?
In your hand, babe.
Oh.
Visit directmeds.com today. Want to make out?
Sure.
Okay.
Welcome back. 5:21 to play here. Briggs Parker with a 69-yard touchdown on the punt return. That's the first punt return touchdown of the season for the Skyridge Falcons.
No better time to get it than in the quarterfinals.
Mentioned Skyridge 7-0 all-time in quarterfinal games. If they have reached this spot in school history, they have punched their ticket to Rice-Eccles in the semifinals.
That's just crazy to me, having coached high school football for as long as I did. The quarterfinal game is a hard game to win, and for these guys to be 7-0 is really impressive. We've played a few of those teams over the years, and you know what? They've done a great job here from day one.
That one goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Nate Childs in the offense comes back out for their second drive of the night. Able to move the ball a little bit out towards midfield, but what needs to change here on drive number 2?
Well, they've got to do something up front against this Skyridge defensive line because they haven't been able to get any yards on the ground, and when they've tried, but they haven't been able to do it. So they've really got to buckle down and try and move these chains. They have to score on this drive. This is a huge point in the ball game for American Fork.
Quick update from the other quarterfinal game in this quadrant. Fourth quarter, 22 seconds left, tied at 31 between Davis and Lone Peak. A great game going on up there in Kaysville as Afu gets the carry. He's got the first down, almost to the first down. Bounces it out for a gain of 8 on that one.
So a little GT counter, guard, tackle, both pull left. Afu, patience, picks up a nice 8-yard gain, and that's exactly what American Fork needs to do.
Prince Afu on the season coming in is the leading rusher. 890 yards, 9 touchdowns on the season so far for Afu.
That's against a really tough schedule.
Child stays in the pocket on second down, going deep for Dean in double coverage, and it's broken up. Good defense there by Braylon Sidwell, and able to break up the pass, and it brings up 3rd and short.
I like that play action. The look up front was exactly the same. The guard and tackle pulled like it was a run play. Just unable to complete the pass. It looked like a catchable ball. Another good throw. Big play here, 3rd and 2.
You need to get to the 30 for a first down. 3rd and 2 here. Three wideouts to the right. Childs looking to throw. And taking a deep shot again, readjusting and unable to make the catch, but a flag flies in late.
And, you see that all the time. The ball's underthrown a little bit. You teach your receivers, come back directly through the defensive back to the ball and get the flag. So even though, the pass isn't completed, they executed, they're going to pick up a first down. That's it. That's a long throw on 3rd and 3, though. I like something a little shorter.
That was Dyson Richards in on that catch attempt. Numbers 24 and 25, Luke Barris and Ethan Schriever were the ones in coverage. It's a pass interference call, and it's a first down for American Fork out to the 42.5-yard line here.
Really good start here for American Fork. They've got to just keep converting, keep moving these chains, control the clock. See if we see more pressure from the Skyridge defense here.
Falcons show 4 at the line on this first down, as they will hand this one off. Afu looking for a lane, lowers that shoulder and picks up a good gain, about 5 yards.
Good job by the right side of the offensive line. It's the third time they've pulled their right guard.
Stopping the run. Gain of 5 yards and second down.
51 to Apostle Jr. And he's done a good job. He's picked up his guy. He's either kicked out the end the first time on this series, or the first series, and then he's led the way a couple of times when they pulled both guard and tackle.
One of the anchors of this offensive line for American Fork. 2nd and 5. Childs over to the far side. Connects with Dean for his second catch of the day. This one 2 yards before number 24 for the Falcons. Luke Barris comes in and lowers the shoulder.
Great job defensively there closing that. It looked like he might have had a step on him. He caught the ball in stride. Skyridge just a little quicker defensively than American Fork expected. I like that little out route. That's out route, though, opposite side to the field is a long throw for 5 yards.
3rd and 3 here for the Cavemen. Need the 47 for a first down. Handoff Jensen right at the line before he's met by the Skyridge defense, and he's got enough for a first down.
Talon Roberts lead the way for the offensive line for American Fork, and a good job converting.
That's Luke Broadbent actually on the carry. Picks up 4 yards on that one. Nope, I had that correct. That was Madden Jensen in there. Hard to see the 28 and the 20 from up here. Jensen with a pickup of 4. Moves the chains here for the Cavemen. 2:35 and counting here in our first quarter. 1st and 10. 2 wideouts to the left. They'll give it back to Jensen, and Jensen again hit right where he stood. Barris again with another defensive stop.
Hammer time right there. That's the worst as a running back, when you're wrapped up at your feet and the linebacker finishes you off up high. Really good job that time by Skyridge.
No, maybe a gain of 1 on that one for Jensen.
American Fork doing a good job running the clock down, snapping it under 10, shorten this game up.
2nd and 9. Childs to throw, is going to take a deep shot for Dean again. He's got a step, he makes the catch. David Dean inside the 10, and it's 1st and goal, Cavemen.
Nate Childs dropped that one in the bucket, perfect. The only spot where Skyridge could not get to it is the outside shoulder of the receiver. And Dean did a really good job of stemming that up and giving his quarterback enough room to throw him open to the sideline. Another big conversion there for American Fork. I like Childs is throwing the ball nice tonight.
And Dean's been his favorite target. That's 3 catches already today for David Dean. He's over 50 yards receiving. 1st and 10 at the 10. They'll give it to Afu on first down. And follows his blockers inside the 5. Spot him at the 6, actually. Check that.
That's just power football, inside zone. The offensive line did a really good job. That might have been duo. They just double-teamed both of the defensive tackles picked up 5 before he was really even hit.
Be second and goal at the 6 here for the Cavemen. A big moment here for American Fork to keep with the Falcons here.
Press man on the outside.
We got 2 backs in the backfield. Jensen and Afu. They'll give it to Jensen, and Jensen looking for the corner before he's tripped up in the backfield. Griffin Coons there to make the stop.
Yeah, Coons just closed that gap. He recognized the run and didn't give a cut up lane to cut up the field and blew that one up. I like the play call. Sometimes you just get beat by a really good play.
That was Luke Broadbent on that carry for American Fork this time, wearing number 20 for American Fork. And now third and goal from the 7. After a loss of 1, it's another Heroic.com third down.
Maybe Dean on a corner route up top.
Childs the throw, looking that way, is in one-on-one coverage, tries to go up and get it incomplete. Gennaro Guilford with the stop defensively, and it's 4th and goal.
Guilford, fantastic position there. Got his eyes back. Knocked the ball away. He's had a really good year this year, Guilford has.
So American Fork electing to bring on the field goal unit. We'll see Jace Worthington for a 25-yard field goal attempt.
I mean, and you've got to do it. You're at the 8-yard line, but, man, you've got to get touchdowns against this Skyridge team.
Worthington 5 for 6 on field goals this season. Make that 6 of 7 as he makes the field goal and puts the Cavemen on the board with 3 seconds left. 4 seconds left, scratch that. And it's 14-3 in favor of the Falcons. We'll keep it here. Kind of update some of the other scores that are going on. Lone Peak and Davis are heading to overtime, Dave. We expected a great game between those 2 teams. The winner of that one will play the winner of this one at Rice Eccles next week.
Yeah, what a great game that's turned out to be. And, you know, Lone Peak's a whole different team with Keppa back at quarterback. He missed most of the regular season, only played a couple of games this year, but he is a real difference maker for Lone Peak. And on the other side, you know, Bessinger's maybe one of the best quarterbacks ever to play at Davis High School.
Well, how about the offensive talent in that game on both ends? You mentioned Bessinger, Bodie Sparrow, one of the greatest young kids on one of the rosters here. He's still just a junior on that very vaunted Davis offense. And then you have the Pula twins on offense, and then you mentioned Keppa.
Yeah, that's just a loaded bracket. And, you know, I grew up in northern Utah, and I went to Layton High School. And so you always kind of want the northern teams to win when you're from up that, because you got that little, you know, you just feel like you've got to prove something to the Salt Lake teams, and we'll see if Davis can pull it off.
Jet Presswich lets this one go. It's fielded right at the 1-yard line, and they send the reverse over the far side. Flag flies near side, though, as getting out of a tackle and dragged down near the 15 is Briggs Parker, who had that punt return for a touchdown earlier. That'll end the first quarter, but we'll keep it here to see what the flag is here.
I think there was a hold on the outside.
So it looks like it will be a hold, and that will do it for the first quarter here from Skyridge High School. The Falcons with a 14-3 lead here in the 6A quarterfinals. We'll be back in just a moment here on KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back. They've decided we're going to play one more play in the first quarter here. They are going to play one untimed down before they start the second quarter. So Skyridge will start at their own 6-yard line. They'll run one play, and then they'll jog all the way to the other end of the field, depending on what happens on this play.
I'm not sure if there was just a penalty and they didn't stop the clock, and so they're just going to run the one play, I would assume it.
So Skyridge, just their second offensive possession of the game. They moved efficiently down the field on the opening drive of the game. Had the punt return for the touchdown on the other drive. So only the second time we've seen Keneal Sweetwine in this Falcons offense.
And that's exactly what American Fork wants. They
Absolutely.
they don't want to give up a touchdown on a kickoff return, obviously, but
4 wideouts here. Sweetwine going to throw far sides, collected by Sanders, and Sanders picks up maybe 4 yards on that one.
That's all on Oswald. He's out there blocking, makes a 5-yard play because he stays on his guy and does a good job on that outside.
So that will officially end the first quarter here from Skyridge. We'll keep it here as the teams will switch ends. We have an update from Davis and Lone Peak. Lone Peak has scored on their first possession of overtime. They're about to kick the extra point to go up 7 on the darts.
Really like that drive that American Fork put together. They had a good mix. They ran the ball. They pushed the ball down the field a little bit, throwing it. I think there's some holes underneath that they can probably take advantage of. But a really good job, and at least they got points. I know I said you've got to get touchdowns against this Skyridge team, and hopefully they'll be able to slow them down if you're an American Fork fan. But, boy, I'll tell you what, they looked efficient on that first drive, and I don't know what you do to change. I mean, these guys are just good.
Sweetwine's got passes to 4 different receivers already in this game, and they've only had 1 drive and 1 play. Keneal Sweetwine threw to 10 different receivers in that game last week against Copper Hills. Known for his feet, he's the leading rusher on Skyridge this season, but he can get it done through the air as well.
You know, when American Fork's playing coverage here, they've got pretty much everyone dropped back. 5 guys in the box, maybe a corner blitz, but it doesn't look like it.
2nd and 5, Sweetwine again to throw, wide open on that far side. Looks like number 5, Talmadge Oswald.
Love. That's one of my favorite plays of all time. Just everybody run 6 yards and stop. Somebody's going to be open in a hole.
2nd catch for Oswald today. Moves the chains for a new set of downs. And we get whistles on the snap here. It'll be a false start on American Fork.
Yeah, receiver up top. And, you know, you throw those underneath routes like that where everybody's running the 6-yard stop route, and it gets those safeties in the habit of coming down hard. And if you're sold on that, you can keep doing that, at some point you're going to be able to do a double move and get wide open down the field.
It was a false start on Skyridge on that one, so 1st and 15. Handoff, and fake the handoff, and Sweetwine's got a lead. We mentioned the feet of Sweetwine. 1 man to beat, tripped down at the 10 and out of bounds. Great defensive pursuit by number 5, Noah Beam for the AF defense, but Keneal Sweetwine with about an 80-yard run.
Really good job at the line of scrimmage. He just kind of made a little dip, pressed the hole a little bit, forced that linebacker to bite, and then he just found the edge and turned on the Jets.
He spotted the ball back at the 16-yard line.
Boy, he's fun to watch play football.
1st and 10 from the 16, and hand off to Tahi, and Tahi picks up 3 yards.
This little wrap concept there where everybody down blocks and you wrap the guard around to pick up the linebacker opposite side.
All said and done, that was a 67-yard run for Keneal Sweetwine on that one. Hands it off to Tahi. Tahi finds a lane, and he's got the touchdown.
The offensive line of Skyridge is dominating the football game at this point. They just are unstoppable. And if they make holes, they open holes like that, it's over. I mean, that's impossible to stop.
13-yard run for Tahi, his longest of the day. And Crew Odom back on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. 10:46 still to go here in the 2nd quarter. Skyridge moving the ball at will so far here today. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. As they lead the Cavemen 21-3 here on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll take a break and be right back. back, 10:46 to go. Here in our second quarter, Skyridge with a 21-3 lead.
Really impressive job that time by the offensive line for Skyridge. They had 2 rushes for 80 yards after they picked up maybe 12 on a pass play. They just look fantastic.
American Fork able to return this kick, and racing it out is Corbin Bowerly out near the 30.
Well, he just about broke that. That was a really good tackle at the end there. He had a lane and he had the speed. He just got tripped up right there at the end. So good job by the special teams again for Skyridge. Saved that one. American Fork, they've got to score touchdowns now. There's no more. They get down again. They've got to kick. They've got to get the ball in the end zone. So I would expect that you're going to see their best stuff right here.
Third drive of the night for American Fork, a punt and a field goal so far for the AF offense. They send 3 wideouts on 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Hand the ball off, and out past the 30 is Prince Afu.
Same thing they started their last drive with, guard tackle counter. They bring him to the right. That time Finau saw it, recognized it, reacted. Did a good job of making a hit in the hole, but Afu kept his legs turned and picked up 4 or 5. So a good start for American Fork again. And last time they went play action off that same look, but they're in a different formation, so they're spread now.
Got 4 wideouts here with Afu in the backfield. Send Richards in motion. Childs the throw. Fires over the middle and broken up. Intended for David Dean.
Yeah, that's a tough ask. They dropped 8 into coverage, so you've got 5 linebackers across, and you send Dean on a slant route across. Dean's just hoping he doesn't get crushed on that one.
Jared Nagley there to break it up for Skyridge. Brings up 3rd and 6 here for the Cavemen. It's another heroic 3rd down.
He's got corners dropping up top. He might just take another one of those 6-yard curl routes to Dean.
Childs looking over the middle, looking for Richards behind him, and incomplete.
I don't know if he thought Richards was going to slow that down into that hole. Because, again, Skyridge is dropping into that zone coverage. You've really got to throttle down and find a hole, but you've got to be on the same page as your quarterback.
It's another 4th down. Now, 4th downs tonight brought to you by Uncommon Effect. Simplify your business and let Uncommon Partners handle all your marketing and technology needs. Jet press switch on for the punt. Briggs Parker already has a punt return touchdown tonight. Waits at his 27.
I would not kick it to him. Kick it away from him.
Low snap handled well, and another good kick. This one's going to be fielded by Parker at the 31, and has to field for the failed catch, and that's where Skyridge will take over with 9:44 to play. Reminder that the clock on your screen is not official. We'll try to keep it as close as we can tonight. I'm glad you guys could join us here for the 6A quarterfinal matchup. Attention shifts up on the hill in Salt Lake next Thursday and Friday for the 6A, 5A, and 4A quarterfinals. One of these teams will be there.
Everybody at this point of the season thinks that they should be in the Final Four, and so that's why you get such good games in the quarterfinals.
Sweetwine to throw on 1st down. Checks it near side for Tahi for his first catch of the day, and picks up about 3 yards.
Impressed with the outside blocking of these receivers by Skyridge. When you've got athletes like they've got, it's nice to be able to just throw that out there for your quarterback and be able to pick up 6-7 yards. And so far, they've done a really good job blocking on the outside.
3 wideouts right side for Sweetwine as he rolls that way. Fires and connects with Sheffield near the yardage marker. He'll be out of bounds right at it. He'll be just shy.
He's really got a smooth release on the run, and watching him in warm-ups, rolling to his left and throwing. Really impressive. He's such a good athlete. I'm excited to see him play at the next level.
3rd and 1 now for Skyridge. Fake the handoff. Sweetwine with the lanes. Got the 1st down.
Yeah, he's got the skill set that translates. That you could use at the next level. He's a smart kid. He gets the ball out quick. He's improved. He's coachable. Got a big, strong arm, and he runs the ball well. So, and a lot of times when you got a kid that's got all that physical talent and he doesn't have a whole ton of offers, it motivates him even more and it works him harder. And so I expect good things from Sweetwine in the future.
Decommitted from BYU and opened up his recruitment. He's got 3 offers on the table so far. Sweet looks to throw. Wide open near side and almost a great catch there by Lincoln Tahi.
He was peeking deep. And Sheffield, they covered him and made a good read, just overthrew him a little bit on that deep out route. But again, it just shows you how strong his arm is to throw it to the opposite side field at 12, 15-yard out. Pretty impressive arm.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for Skyridge here. Spreading it out again, 4 wideouts. Tahi in the backfield. Fake the handoff again, Sweetwine. Out the near side, lowers the shoulder out to the 50. Good run of about 6 yards there, and a physical one at that for Sweetwine.
Yeah, delivering the blow right there. DBs don't like seeing him coming, especially when they're engaged and they're blocked and they don't really have any choice but just to absorb the hit.
3rd and 4 upcoming here for Skyridge. They'll get the call from head coach and offensive coordinator Justin Hem.
I think we're going to get some pressure here.
Hem in his 3rd season at the helm here at Skyridge. Throw far side for trying to set up a screen, and it's read well by the Cavemen. First one in there is number 39 for the Cavemen. That's Ty Wilson to break it up and bring up 4th down.
Yeah, safety read that early, broke on it, made a really good play, and they just brought more defenders than they had blockers. That, though, sets up a little pump and go off of that same look later in the game.
So Skyridge going to go for it here, 4th and 4. Need the 46-yard line for a 1st down. Skyridge's first 4th down of the game.
Run this, man. You got a light box.
Sweetwine, pressure coming up the middle, checks it down for a screen, and it's again read well. Ty Wilson again gets in there, and it's a turnover on downs.
American Fork's defense really rose to the occasion on that drive. They had to get a stop there. And 4th and 5 inside their own territory now. American Fork has a golden opportunity to get back in this ball game.
So Skyridge.
But frankly, I don't hate that decision by Skyridge to go for the. They've dominated the game so far, all 3 phases really, and so I think that there's enough confidence in their defense that they feel like they can go for it at midfield. I don't have a problem with that call at all. I like it.
So the Cavemen will start 1st and 10 at the Skyridge 48-yard line. Fake the handoff. Child's far side. Dyson Richards out of a tackle, and Richards has the 1st down and a pickup of 12.
Really good job. Reverse pivoted. Let the defender overrun it. Picked up 7-8 yards. That's a good athletic play. Good throw again from one hash to the out on the other side. Takes a lot of arm strength.
Pick up a 14. They roll him out at the 35-yard line. That's the first Cavemen besides David Dean to catch a catch tonight.
A couple big, tall receivers take advantage of that.
1st and 10 at the Skyridge 35. Hand this one off to Prince Afu, and Afu only gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Skyridge has brought another safety down into the box to help stop that run. They were into a 4-2 defense, and then they dropped that safety in and plugged up those running lanes pretty well.
Update from Lone Peak and Davis, still in overtime, tied at 38. We'll keep you posted if and when that game goes final tonight. 2nd and 10. 3 wideouts for Childs. He looks to throw, takes a shot again. Nice adjustment on that far side and making the catch. I believe that's number 8 for the Cavemen, Christian Hanshaw with the catch, and it moves the chains.
It's a good job by Childs of throwing that back shoulder. Again, just to where he can get that. Typically when you're teaching your quarterback on that wheel route, to throw the back shoulder, you tell him to aim it right at the back of his helmet, and then the receiver should be able to adjust to that. And he did a fantastic job, put it right on line.
Gain of 15 puts the Cavemen back in the red zone for the second time tonight. They had a field goal on their last trip to the red zone. They'll hand this one off to Afu, and he's dragged down by the Falcons' Harvey Moiai in there for the tackle.
Really active defensive front right there for Skyridge. They've moved. They've been in a 30 front. Now they're into a 40 front. Back looks like maybe back into a 30 front, but they're bringing those linebackers down and plugging up those run lanes. American Fork may have to lean on those big, tall receivers. He's got Dean on the outside man cover. Now they move a safety and a linebacker out. So
2nd and 9. Childs to throw. Fires over the middle looking for Richards, and Richards has a touchdown.
It's really tough to defend a big, tall receiver like that on a bend route right in the middle if you're not right on his hip, and he did a good job delivering the ball on time. A good route, and American Fork's back in the ball game.
Dyson Richards with the 14-yard catch. First touchdown of the night for American Fork. It's Jace Worthington on for the extra point.
Lining up for the point after number 96, Jace Worthington.
Worthington's kick up, and it's good. 5:12 to go.
On the hold by Owen Gardner.
Here in our second quarter, American Fork claws their way back. It's an 11-point game, 21-10. Here on KSL Sports Rewind, we will update you. We've just gotten a final from Davis High School. Lone Peak has won in overtime over the Darts, so the Knights move on to the semifinals to take on the winner of this game. 41-38, the final score in that one.
Lone Peak wins that. So Keppa, the Lone Peak quarterback, was our quarterback at Alta, and we beat West in a 4 overtime game, as you remember, as you were on that call. And I was on the sideline, and I told you before this game, before the overtime, Keppa knows how to win in overtime. So congratulations to Lone Peak.
So Lone Peak awaits the winner of this game in the semifinals at Rice-Eccles Stadium.
They just announced the score of the game that Lone Peak won, and there was a collective groan from the Skyridge fans.
Yeah, arguably one of the two teams that's given Skyridge the most trouble over their 10-year history. As this one goes in the end zone for a touchback. Say, those two teams being Lone Peak and Corner Canyon would be the other one.
Yeah, and you know what? All three great programs. Skyridge, Lone Peak, Corner Canyon. Pretty impressive what all three of those programs have done. It would have been nice to see Davis and Bessinger play and Sparrow play, but congratulations to Lone Peak. And you know, Skyridge, Lone Peak, that's going to be a fantastic game if that's what ends up happening here.
Here's a stat line for you. American Fork 0-2 all-time against Lone Peak in the playoffs. Skyridge 0-4 all-time in the playoffs against the Knights. As 1st and 10, good run there by Tahi, I believe. And he's got the first down as he lowered the shoulder and picked up a big gain of about 12.
Running like his old man.
Check that, 13 yards. Ties his longest carry of the night. Moves the chains, 1st and 10. Skyridge turned the ball over on downs last drive. Throw near side for Tahi is again read well by American Fork.
Yeah, really didn't have the numbers on the outside that time, and American Fork did a great job reacting to that right off of the bat. Tahi, man, he runs hard. His dad, as you probably recall, played for the Minnesota Vikings and blocked for Adrian Peterson for years and years. Ran like a truck when he played in high school in Utah.
That was Mason Peterson on the tackle. Loss of 3 for a 2nd and 13 now for Skyridge. Sweetwine fakes the handoff. Pressure comes, stays in the pocket, looking deep, wide open is Talmadge Oswald, and Oswald's got 6 points.
Wow, Sweetwine did a great job. He was looking for a post corner route on the other side. It wasn't open. He stepped back, reset his feet, Van Scheffel for a touchdown, wide open down the sideline. Really good throw and catch.
6th touchdown of the season for Oswald, and that puts it right back to a 17-point lead. Could be 18 here with the extra point by Crew Odom. Odom's kick has plenty of distance, and it's good. 4:02 to go to halftime. Skyridge again with a big play. This time 70 yards to Talmadge Oswald. And the Falcons lead 28-10 here on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll take a break and be right back.
Welcome back to the UCCU Savings Spotlight.
Today's play of the day goes to Becky, a single mom who just got her son Max a youth debit card from UCCU.
This is a big win for Max, who knows that UCCU mobile banking makes it easy for his mom to add money to his debit card anytime.
It's also a big win for Becky, who knows it also makes it easy to monitor her child's spending anytime. Final score, 1 happy son, 1 responsible mom.
With the assist from UCCU.
Welcome back. 4:02 to go to halftime. 28-10 in favor of the Falcons. Matt Coma, Dave Harrison with you here. Glad you guys can kick off your weekend with some quarterfinal football here on KSL Sports Rewind, KSLSports.com.
Well, you cannot give Sweetwine that much time to look for receivers downfield, because not only can he throw the ball far enough to hit the open guy, but those receivers get open and they're fast, so they've got to get some pressure on Sweetwine.
Noah B makes it to the 26th and a flag flies with 3:53 to go. That was actually Oswald's second touchdown of the game, so now he has 7 on the season. Let's see what the call is here for this return.
Looked like a face mask. I think that's what they called it. But I'm not sure who's hurt.
It's a face mask on Skyridge, so it's a 15-yard penalty added to the carry. So game will start at the 41-yard line. We have an injured, I believe, Falcon down at about the 22-yard line. So while they tend to the injured player, we'll step aside and take a break here with 3:53 to go here in our second quarter. We'll be right back. Oh, actually, we'll keep it here. Is it number 22 for the Falcons, Rex Caswell, the junior linebacker, being helped off of the field.
So Corner Canyon won their game over Syracuse, so they're going to play the winner of the Mountain Ridge Harriman game. Mountain Ridge up 14-8, it looks like.
A rematch of that thriller that got delayed to Saturday. Actually, it ended up going till about midnight. It got lightning delayed twice in that game that ended up deciding the Region 2 title.
Yeah, there were some hurt feelings that night.
There was a question whether or not Jackson Hunt would be ready to go after going out in that game last week against Riverton. He is back in the game, has 2 touchdowns to his name as that one's swatted away here on the near side. That's number 9, Mason Oster, the defensive end, getting his paw up there and knocking that one down.
Yeah, really good job because he had an open receiver. It would have picked up 7 or 8 yards at least on that.
So Saget in 10, 3:49 to play.
Every possession is huge for American Fork. They cannot afford not to score at this point. This Skyridge offense is just too potent.
American Fork still 3 timeouts at their disposal. Look at the ball to start the second half as well. They will give it off to Afu on second down. And good hard run out to the 45 for a pick of a 4.
Nice job up front again by Roberts on that offensive line for American Fork. And that's really, I mean, I know they're down 18 points, but they still have to be able to control the clock and control the line of scrimmage and run the football, because if they score quick, they just give Skyridge the ball back too quick.
Another heroic third down here, 3rd and 6. Childs with all kinds of time. Going to check it down. Got Homestead. Backtracks. And it's going to be wrestled down by Parker. And they'll stop him right at the 41-yard line, loss of 4.
It's really a tough route concept against the zone. They ran what we call mesh, where you cross 2 shallow receivers and then run somebody on a dig route behind them, and just too many guys in that zone defense. It's almost a setup that you're going to have to run a bunch of flood concepts to beat that zone as well as they're running it.
So that brings it up another uncommon effect. 4th down, jet press switch on the punt. Briggs Parker waits at his 20, and a fake for a moment. Good line drive kick. And it takes an American Fork bounce inside the 15. And I don't know if that was designed or not, but it was an effective kick there from Presswich.
Yeah, he pump faked the outside defender who looked like he was going to get the block. So good athletic play by the punter. Punters are a little more athletic sometimes than the place kickers.
So Skyridge comes back out. They have had no problem moving the ball today. They've got 3 touchdowns, and then the turnover on downs at midfield going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, Sweetwine's sharp. He's patient in the pocket. He's able to wait, let those receivers get open downfield. The receivers have played really well.
Sweetwine getting it done on both the ground and the air as well. He's got almost 100 yards rushing in this first half. 1st and 10, Sweetwine looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, wide open again is Oswald. And Oswald out near midfield.
Yeah, you give him that much time, he's able to kind of bump roll it a little bit. And as strong as his arm is, he connects on the run at 15, 20 yards down the field, right on the money.
Clock stops with 2:09 to go as he goes out of bounds. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Sweetwine this time looks to take it himself, and he's going to be dragged down at the line. Dallin Afu gets there. No gain.
Yeah, he had all his receivers running deep routes. Kind of tough. I mean, you're going to get those DBs are dropping 10 yards. They're giving you 7, 8 yards on the sideline that you could just march it down the field that way. But these guys like those big shots. So
2nd and 10, Sweetwine keeps it and fights his way near midfield out to the 50.
Samson Thompson, inside linebacker, number 35, did a nice job. Got pressure on Sweetwine. Skyridge unable to pick up that stunt or that blitz and force Sweetwine to put the ball down and run it. So really, that's what you've got to do to stop Sweetwine.
3rd and 7 here for the Falcons. 1:10 and counting to halftime. Skyridge does have all 3 of their timeouts here, but in no hurry. Cavemen show pressure. Sweetwine with time in the pocket. Again, wide open. Again, it's Hunter Sheffield this time. And he's down inside the 10-yard line. Clock will stop to move the chains. It's down to the 7-yard line, a 43-yard strike.
American Fork so worried about getting beat over the top that they're giving up 15 or 20-yard dig routes or in routes wide open.
Skyridge, the first time tonight with goal to go. So far, everything's been 10 yards or more, and Coach Hem's going to call a timeout with 33 seconds left here in our first half. We'll keep it here. It's 28-10 here. Skyridge with a chance to really keep their foot on the throat of American Fork here.
You know, as an offensive coordinator, at least we did it every week. We would spend a lot of time on our 2-minute O so that it was just like clockwork moving it down the field. And so anytime you get a chance to run your 2-minute offense in an actual 2-minute situation, it's a lot of fun as an offensive coordinator because you get to do these things that you just work on, and you only get 3 or 4 or 5 of those a year. And they've done a really good job moving it down the field, take what the defense gives them. Other than a couple of pressures on Sweetwine, he's had time to throw the ball, and able to find wide open receivers down the field.
So 33 seconds left, 2 timeouts left for Skyridge. First and goal at the 7. Send Oswald in motion. Sweetwine near side for Oswald, and he's tackled right at the 5-yard line. Good hit there by Beckham Rees, the safety.
Great open field tackle by Reese because, the out route inside the 10-yard line is the most effective pass route. And it's really tough to make that play, and he did a fantastic job. So forced him to take another timeout.
Skyridge burns their second timeout. 26 seconds left to go to halftime. You've been the long-time offensive coordinator. You've seen what Sweetwine can do with his feet. You've mentioned that he's been able to sling it out pretty quickly here. You got a goal-to-go situation. You have Tahi as your disposal as well. Where are you going with this offense?
Well, I think you give him an option. We used to run an RPO where we'd go trips right, and you're read the defensive end and the linebacker, and if either one of them crashes, you just pull it, give it to your number 3 receiver standing in the end zone wide open. If the DN crashes and the linebacker stays, you can pull it. So he's a good enough athlete that you give him options.
So second and goal at the 5. Sweetwine rolls far side. Oswald over the goal line. Touchdown, Falcons.
Again, a little half roll with a speed out, and you just outrun the defender. Just really no way to defend that play. Sweetwine again, right on the money.
And Talmadge Oswald, 3 touchdowns in the first half. As it's all Skyridge here in the first 24 minutes. Odom on for the extra point. And it's good. With 20 seconds to go to halftime, it is 35-10 Skyridge. All Falcons here in this 6A quarterfinal. Want to thank some of our sponsors as well. That extra point is brought to you by Live Fit Systems. Also, our timeouts tonight brought to you by Elite Terminal Services. And we want to thank again our presenting sponsor tonight, Fluence Media Agency, and our game sponsors tonight, Northside Capital and Origin Brand Merch. So 20 seconds left. We'll see Skyridge kick this ball off.
This is as sharp as I've seen any offense this year, except maybe a couple of halves of Corner Canyon where they've looked unstoppable. But, boy, Sweetwine looks good. The receivers look good. The offensive line's giving him a time. When they've run the ball, Ty's done a good job. I mean, they offensively, they just look like a juggernaut right now.
They seem like they've kind of flipped the switch for the playoffs here. They've now scored 98 points in their last 6 quarters here in this playoffs.
Well, Copper Hills, 63 against Copper Hills it's still 63 points, but they probably could have scored 80.
And Prince Afu's going to get a rare return here, and he breaks it out to midfield. And inside Skyridge territory goes Prince Afu.
Hey, they're in striking distance. They're inside the 50. You could score from there.
They will have at least a shot here that they can go for the end zone. We've seen Childs air it out already in this game.
You got a couple of big receivers. We'd stack 3 on one side, 1 on the other side. You'd run all your big guys down into the end zone and just throw it up.
You mentioned you have Ty Homestead, 6'3". David Dean's above 6 foot as well. Tyson Richards, 6'5". Christian Hansaw, 6'5". They got a lot of tall guys they can throw it to here.
The key is you've got to give your quarterback enough time. So typically you'll do a dash roll where you'll take 3 steps and then half roll out. But he's throwing
over
it
the
quick
middle.
Right down the
Richards
middle.
Incomplete.
That's a pretty good play. He catches that ball. He goes down. They have a timeout. They have time to stop it. Now they've got to go to the end zone.
Clock stops at 4 seconds. That one stopped by number 10 for the Falcons. That's Dylan Hyde, the linebacker. And Skyridge in prevent defense here.
I one time saw Orem convert 2 Hail Marys in one game, back-to-back, because there was a penalty after the first one was converted.
Pressure comes, and Child steps up, and they heave to the end zone. Over there, and it's broken up, almost intercepted there by number 7, Maddox Rarer, or Gennaro Guilford, the other 7. As the clock hits zeros, and that wraps up the first half. Here from Skyridge High School, it's been all Falcons in this 6A quarterfinal. They lead 35-10 as we head to the halftime break. We'll step aside and be back in about 15 minutes with the second half. 2 quarters in the books. It's the Falcons 35 and the Cavemen 10. You're watching the 6A quarterfinals on KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Fluence Media Agency. We'll be right back after the halftime break.
With affordable GLP-1 medication from Direct Meds, I've lost weight but gained lots of attention. From old college boyfriends, hi, to young college boys. Oh, honey. And my husband's obsessed.
She loves to make me jealous.
Well, as a woman over 50, losing weight was about as hard as getting my husband to cook anything but cereal.
Honey, where's the milk?
In your hand, babe.
Oh.
Visit directmeds.com today. Want to make out?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, football fans. Ready to start our second half here between Skyridge and American Fork. 35-10, your score at the halftime break in favor of the Falcons. Our apologies, we're trying to get our scoreboard back up and running. We'll hopefully get it for you here shortly, as we had some technical difficulties at the halftime break, but we'll be back up and running here. Matt Cohn with David Harrison. Dave, your thoughts on a pretty dominant first 24 minutes from Skyridge?
I'll tell you what, this is as good as I've seen Skyridge play all year. All 3 phases, they've dominated. Defensively, they've put pressure on. And offensively, they really unstoppable. And Sweetwine just has been accurate. He's had time. He's been able to relocate in the pocket, get outside. I mean, he's done everything. He's run the ball. He's thrown the ball. And Skyridge, boy, they look like they're going to be tough to beat. It's kind of a sad situation, at least in my opinion. I'm kind of old school. I loved it when you had to earn your way into the playoffs, and your region would go play another region, and you would never have to play somebody from your own region in the playoffs until you got to the semifinals. And so, you could easily have had American Fork in the semis, but they've had to go through 2 Region 3 teams in the playoffs just to get here. So kind of a tough draw for American Fork from that perspective. They had some good things happen in the first half, but really it's just tough to stop an offense as dominant as this Skyridge Falcon team is.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Cavemen at their 20-yard line to get things started here in our third quarter. Childs will dump it off, and that's Luke Broadbent on the far side, out of a tackle, picks up a yard on that one.
I expect we'll see a lot of that defensively from Skyridge, where they just let American Fork throw the ball underneath and short to the back out, and then just rally to the ball. Don't let they don't want to give anything up over the top. Make them earn it. Make them burn some time to get into the end zone.
Hand off on second downs, going to be met about a yard into it. Got Griffin Coons in there for the tackle. It was Prince Offa with the carry.
Coons and Finau have done a nice job from the linebacker position. And when you've got a defensive line, they've been running mostly the odd front, a 30 front. And if your nose guard demands a double team, it frees up your linebackers. And they've done a good job on the defensive line of forcing American Fork to double team.
3rd and 7. Childs tries to check it down and incomplete, intended for Homestead. That will bring up a 4th down here for American Fork that only was able to muster 117 yards of offense in that first half. Skyridge, 238 yards passing, 129 yards rushing for a total of 367 yards in that first half.
Yeah, they're just dominant. And, they're making a case. They've got to beat, a good Lone Peak team, and then probably a good Corner Canyon or Mountain Ridge team. But Sweetwine's kind of the X factor. We were talking about it on the field before the game with some of the Skyridge coaches. He's a good enough player that he can take his team and lead his team to a state championship. It's been fun to watch him tonight.
That was a good tackle by Ocean Bishop to stop Parker there, who's already got a punt return for a touchdown tonight. So we'll see Sweetwine in the offense for the first time in the second half. Sweetwine, 7 carries, 93 yards on the ground, 238 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, all of them to Talmadge Oswald, who has 6 catches for 138 yards in that first half. A dominant performance by the Falcons, and he goes to his favorite target once again. Oswald with another 10 yards on that one.
Again, just attack that soft spot in the zone. Typically, it's your number 2 receiver when you're in trips, and he just sits at 6 yards. It's just a natural hole in just about any zone defense, and able to exploit it there. They've done that 2 or 3 times already tonight.
Spotted at the 49, move the chains for a new set of downs. We'll send Tahi to the far side, and he'll look to throw that way. Tahi out of a tackle, and he breaks free. Turns on the Jets for a big gain for Skyridge. And down at the 10 for a pickup of about 42 on that one for Lincoln Tahi.
It's kind of a new look outside tunnel screen. So you start I saw it this last weekend a couple of times in the NFL, where you start your back out as if he's running a out route, and he just puts his foot in the dirt, comes back, and then goes underneath those linemen, go downfield and block for him.
Tahi had 3 receptions for negative 2 yards in that first half. That one was good for 42 as they throw to your side, in and out of the hands of Adam Warren. Incomplete.
It's kind of a little combo route there where you've got a corner, a sit, and a slant. It was there, just unable to reel it in. Good throw that time by Keneal.
Brings up 2nd and goal here for Skyridge, looking to further move themselves in front here, up by 25 to start the second half.
That tunnel screen they just ran, that's the first time I've seen a high school team run that. It was a really well-executed play.
Sweetwine takes it himself, and Afu's in the backfield, and they'll just rule him dead at the 15-yard line. Dallin Afu getting back in there to blow that one up.
Afu's had a good season, really the anchor of the American Fork defensive line. And that time, I think he recognized that the guard pulled, filled in behind him, and blew Sweetwine up in the backfield.
Loss of 5 brings up 3rd and goal from the 15 now.
A lot of room to run.
Yeah, Sweetwine tries to catch the Cavemen jumping. Get a new call from Coach Hem.
Interesting to see if, American Fork's going to change their defensive look now. We'll see if that.
Play clock's down to 1, and now the timeout is to be called by Coach Hem with 9:10 to play here in our 3rd quarter. Timeout on the field. We'll take the timeout as well here on KSL Sports Rewind. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the UCCU Saving Spotlight.
Today's play of the day goes to Becky, a single mom who just got her son Max a youth debit card from UCCU.
This is a big win for Max, who knows that UCCU mobile banking makes it easy for his mom to add money to his debit card anytime.
It's also a big win for Becky, who knows it also makes it easy to monitor her child's spending anytime. Final score, 1 happy son, 1 responsible mom.
With the assist from UCCU.
Welcome back. 9:10 to play. 3rd and goal here for the Falcons. Three wideouts to the right. Tahi in the backfield. Sweetwine with time. Throws far side, and it's caught. Touchdown, Falcons. That time, Diesel Hunter with the touchdown.
Sweetwine with a beautiful back shoulder dive, and just put it where only his guy could get it, timed it up just right. There was nothing the defender could do.
So Diesel Hunter with the touchdown. And as I look at my notes, that's the 5th touchdown of the season for Hunter. 4th passing touchdown of the day for Sweetwine.
Sweetwine's got a nice touch on his ball. That back shoulder fade, he's thrown that a couple of times, and the timing of it is perfect. The placement of the ball is perfect. It's impossible pass to defend.
So Skyridge continues to pour it on here, trying to make it to their 8th semifinal in school history.
Yeah, they're looking down the barrel of the Lone Peak Knights, who are on their way home from Davis High School after a double or triple overtime win at Davis. So Lone Peak, you know, they had a little bit of a hiccup during their season when Keppel wasn't playing, but boy, they sure looks like they've turned things around here in the playoffs.
So Skyridge with a 42-10 lead. I mentioned this is the 10th season in Skyridge history for football. They're 20-8 all time in the playoffs. 7-0 I mentioned in the quarterfinals. This is the 6th straight time they've made it to the quarterfinals as well. That's the longest streak in school history. Interesting, I'll give you the stat here that I went deep into the archives this week looking up at stuff for Skyridge here and just how unprecedented their first 10 years as a school has been. As this one's kicked into the end zone, this will be a touchback. So here's an interesting stat. So this is the 10th season that I mentioned for Skyridge. They have had all 10 seasons with 6 or more wins to start their 10 years. No school in the last 75 years has done that here in the state of Utah.
And it's not like they're playing in the 3A South Division.
They played 5A and 6A, yet still have had a winning record in all 10 of their seasons.
I remember the first year they were open, we came here and played, and it was one of our semifinal teams, and we had to score with like 8 seconds left, and it was 56-54 the final. I mean, they've been good since day one.
American Fork back to work on offense. Throw far side, Dyson Richards thrown out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
I think you have to look to the leadership of the school. A school just doesn't become a football powerhouse without a ton of support from the administration and the student body and the coaching staff. And, you know, they've just done it in a really difficult place to play football. I mean, you've got Lone Peak and Lehigh and Corner Canyon and Alta, all these teams right here that are fantastic, and they've dominated. I mean, 6 wins every year is pretty wild.
Most of them 10-win seasons as well. Throw far side's incomplete, broken up there by Gennaro Guilford. Interesting note as well, this is now tonight is the 126th game in school history for Skyridge. A win tonight gives them 100 in those 126 games.
Wow.
They'd be the second fastest team to ever get to 100 wins as a school.
Corner Canyon the first.
Good job.
Yeah, I know.
Only by 2 games, though. 124 games it took Corner Canyon to get to 100 wins.
Yeah, they should have been there a lot quicker than that. The first few years was a little bit
Good
of
pass
a
over the middle. Ty Homestead breaks free. And American Fork with some speed. One man to beat, and Homestead dragged down at the 12.
That's a big time throw and catch. American Fork needed something good to happen. That just shows you what happens. If you can hit a guy on a slant route or a post route in stride like that, you can pick up a ton of yardage.
That's a pickup of 69 minus 2, 67 yards. But we got officials. There's a flag thrown over there on the end, I believe.
He's probably running down the sideline, ran into a coach, threw the flag, sideline warning, pick it up. At least that's my guess.
Let's see what the call is here. As we're relaying it in. Ball spotted at the 12-yard line at the moment.
Yeah, he's over there telling the coach to back up. I've seen that happen before.
Ooh, it's sideline interference, so back it up 15 yards. No sideline warning. Interesting. That's Ron Shapiro, our white hat. Rest of our officiating crew tonight, umpire Curtis Reese, line judges TJ Sutherland, linesman Chad Vargo, and back judge Sean Snow, our officiating crew tonight. We thank them for giving their time tonight, officiating in this game. So they back it up 15 yards to the 27.
Man coverage down here.
Nope. Childs goes the other way and connects with number 84. That's Dayton Hanson, and he's going nowhere, and a flag flies late.
Jamaro Guilfoyle shut him down. That was a really good job by the quarterback for Skyridge.
There's a flag at the end of the play here with 8:24 to go.
Really hope you don't see a bunch of frustration penalties. You know, you get a game gets a little bit out of hand like this. Sometimes that'll happen. So, oh,
it's on Guilford.
Man.
On that
Tackled
hit.
him too hard? It looked like it was a good play.
He was thrown down
Hurt
to
his
the
feelings.
field.
Man, that looked like a really great defensive play to me. I'm half blind anymore, so I couldn't see exactly what happened all the way over there. But empty now. Looking
First
right
and
down
10 of the
middle.
15 now for American Fork. All 5 wideouts. Child's going to go for the end zone. Too far, nobody home. 2 receivers in the area.
Really an empty formation softens the defense up right in the middle of the field. And especially if you've got an open middle, you've got 2 safeties, it's really tough to defend that number 3 receiver at empty. That time they chose to go up over the top. They thought I had a look outside. See what they do on this one. Now it looks like they're back into their tray formation.
Second and 10. Childs goes to the right side again, and that one's caught over on that far side. Number 85, Ty Homestead with the catch. Gets about half the yards.
Interesting action that time by the offensive line. Almost looked like they thought he was going to roll out. Then it held the linebacker because it looked like the guard was pulling and he came downhill defending the run.
So 3rd and 5, make it 4 here for American Fork. Trying to put points on the board here. Childs, far side, wide open, and reaching for that side is number 8. That's Christian Hanshaw.
A little bit of a rub route there. It looked like the outside receiver came in, ran a little bit of a stem route, but he started his route right at the defender and freed up his man for first down. Another nice throw that time. Childs has done a pretty good job delivering the ball tonight.
Got the power formation this time on 1st and goal, and that's a touchdown for American Fork. And that is Prince Afu with the touchdown, and American Fork gets 6 points on the board.
I like that play at the goal line. Just bring your bigs in and power it in. Good job up front for American Fork on that one. And again, you know, it's going to take a miracle at this point down as far as they are, but you like to see the battle, the fight that they're, you know, some of these guys, it's their last game ever. And so you expect that you're going to see a good effort out of them, but it's nice to see they're still executing, making some plays.
So timeout on the field. We'll take the timeout as well with 7:47 to play here in our 3rd quarter. We'll be right back.
With affordable GLP-1 medication from Direct Meds, I've lost weight but gained lots of attention. From old college boyfriends, hi, to young college boys. Oh, honey. And my husband's obsessed.
She loves to make me jealous.
Well, as a woman over 50, losing weight was about as hard as getting my husband to cook anything but cereal.
Honey, where's the milk?
In your hand, babe.
Oh.
Visit directmeds.com today. Want to make out?
Sure.
Okay.
Welcome back. 7:47 to play here in our 3rd quarter. American Fork getting on the board, ready to go for 2, most likely, I would assume here. And try and make it if I do my math correctly, a 24-point game, 34.
Yeah, they get it down to 24. It's a 3-score game.
Yeah, it'd be 24.
See what they come up with. Boy, that touchdown formation. That was a pretty good play. They look good there. Under center.
Childs, nobody in the backfield here. He will roll to his right. He's got a man open on that far side. Swatted away. Getting in there, Ethan Schriever. And that will be a 2-point conversion unsuccessful, and it saves 42-16 as Skyridge holds on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it keeps it at a 4-score game. A really good job. Gifford out there's been fantastic for Skyridge.
So Skyridge still up by 26 now with 7:47 to go. I mentioned looking to get back to Rice Eccles. Interesting things about the 2 seeds in the RPI era. This is the 6th year that we've used the RPI to determine the seeding for the playoffs. The 2 seed has made it to the 6A semifinals all the 5 times in the previous 5 years of the RPI era. 100% of the time. 4 times they've advanced to the championship game, and 3 times have won the championship as the 2 seed. So 60% of the time the 2 seed has won the 6A classification in the RPI era.
Yeah, there's been some wild games up at Rice Eccles between Skyridge and Corner Canyon over the years.
Interesting on the other side, I did the research for the 7 seeds. The 7 seed has never made it to the 6A semifinals.
You know, I'd be interested to see those numbers in the 5A bracket because 6A, it's one thing with the RPI. 5A, man, it's all over the place.
I'm glad you asked. I will tell you in just a moment. So I did the research on the other classifications as well. 83%, this is all classifications combined, 6A all the way down to 1A. 83% of the time the 2 seed makes it to the semifinals. Only 7% of the teams that were a 7 seed have made it to the semifinals. So it's happened twice. Lehigh in the 5A bracket in 2021, and Skyview in the 2024 4A bracket. It was the only 7 seeds to ever make it past the quarterfinals in the RPI era.
Seems like the Orem went in as an 11 seed one year and won.
We've seen a couple of double-digit seeds make it.
And East did too one year. But I think East had a bunch of vacated wins because of forfeits or something.
Yeah, there was one year, I believe, in 5A that there was 3 double-digit seeds that made the semifinals.
Yeah, the 5A RPI has always kind of been just shot in the dark.
Would you prefer it to be more of a regional seed kind of?
All day, every day. I would so much rather have 4 teams from a region make the playoffs as opposed to just everybody makes the playoffs and then you have.
Hand off to Oswald here, and he's got the first down and more. First carry of the day for Oswald.
Yeah, to me, football's a merit-based sport, and you should have to win something to make the playoffs. And I know a lot of people love the RPI, but just from a competition standpoint, from being a coach, from being a player, man, it used to mean something to make the playoffs.
Well, you've seen it on both ends. You've seen the region when it's been decided by region and decided by the RPIs. This pass is caught and out past midfield goes Preston Kirk. His first catch.
Still throwing the ball really nice. Still a good job up front by Skyridge. But yeah, I know I'm probably not the biggest fan of the RPI.
That's the 7th different receiver that Sweetwine has found today. As he's approaching 300 yards passing in this game.
It's really efficient, too. I mean, he's made good throws all day.
Fake the handoff, throw near side, and it's back to Kirk, and Kirk's got his second catch and picks up 5.
Another one of those where you've got numbers, he makes a nice read, and he's so accurate on the move that it's really nice to have a quarterback like that to be able to convert those quick throws out there and get his feet out. He doesn't have to be set perfect to make an accurate throw.
Sweetwine had 3 games of 300 yards or more in the regular season. Had those games against Mountain Ridge, Cherry Creek, and Lehigh as he tries to navigate his way through and loses about 3 yards.
Made a good business decision there. Step out of bounds, avoid taking the shot. Luke Broadbent was right there ready to hit him, and he just stepped out of bounds. Good play that time by Sweetwine. He didn't really have anybody open. Good defensive job by American Fork.
Interesting for Sweetwine. He had 93 yards rushing in that first half. He's got 2 carries for -7 yards here in the second half. They'll get the extra call from him.
Oswald right down the middle of the field.
Oswald has catches of 70 and 35 tonight. And timeouts right before the clock hits zeros on the play clock. So timeout number 2 taken by Skyridge.
Yeah, coach is a little upset about that. He wanted to get that play off because he had the right defense and the right play call.
We'll take the timeout as well. 5:45 left to play here in our third quarter. 42-16 in favor of Skyridge.
Bucket list hikes, local races, challenging adventures, that one goal that means so much to you. Salt Lake Running Company has the gear and expert advice you need to start and finish strong. You'll be crushing that goal before you know it. With our trained and knowledgeable staff, an award-winning custom shoe fit process, and the head-to-toe products you need, SLRC will gear you up for your goal. Shop in-store at any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back. 5:45 left here in our third quarter. Skyridge facing a 3rd and 8.
Back into that empty set. They've got the split safety look. We'll see if that.
Throw near side, and I'm not sure which one he was looking for, either O'Marion Sanders or Beckham Bennett. Either way, it's incomplete, and it brings up 4th down.
Not a lot of space out there for the receiver. They kind of looked like they were running a hook and a wheel route on the same side, and too many defenders that so close to the play.
For the first time today, Skyridge is punting the football. American Fork sells out for it. There's a flag down to the line of scrimmage. Not a very long kick, but it gets a Skyridge bounce to about the 20, maybe the 19-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is. As flags fly on both sides of that line of scrimmage.
Been a pretty clean game tonight, penalty-wise, which is so nice. I had Orem and Timpview last week, and they're notorious. I don't know if the officials – man, there was a lot of flags last week. So it's been so nice watching this game without all of the penalties.
So it's an illegal formation on Skyridge. They'll enforce it on the end of the kick. So American Fork will start at the 24-yard line. They score with Prince Afu on the last drive. Had the big play to Homestead to get him in goal-to-goal range there. As
I expect we're going to keep 4 safeties deep. 3 or 4 deep every time now for Skyridge. They're just still trying to keep everything in front of them. They got beat over the top once, but they've got a big enough lead now that if they could just force American Fork to use a bunch of clock, that they're happy with that.
Got 3 receivers bunched on the left-hand side. Childs will go to the right instead. Finds Afu, and Afu will be spun down at the 32-yard line.
Good job. Childs just didn't have anything downfield. Checked it down to Afu, who picks up a nice 8 yards on first down.
That's Afu's first reception of the day. 4 wideouts here on 2nd and 2. Afu with those yellow cleats in the backfield there. As Child's going to step up and take a deep shot. He's got Richards out there and White's a catch. Sprint to the pylon and Richards dragged down to the 3.
Wow, what a play. He threw that up over the top, and I thought he missed him early, and he found him late. And then he just about outran the DB into the end zone.
Gain of 64 for Dyson Richards. And again, American Fork with a big play, a big chunk play to get him in goal-to-go situation here. Have a chance to chip away at the Skyridge lead. Childs to the right. Looking, surveys, now going to take it himself, lowers the shoulder, and he's down just shy of the goal line. He had 2 rushing touchdowns against Lehigh last week, almost had his first here tonight.
I think he's hurt. Somebody's hurt. He took a shot.
Lowered that shoulder trying to get to the pylon there.
And he had his receiver on the out route early open. If he just sees it and throws it, it's an easy score. Instead, he took a big shot. And I know it's the last game of your life, but, man, that's a big shot to take if you're a quarterback trying to come back.
So as they look at Childs over on that far side, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back here on KSL Sports Rewind. All right, welcome back. Nate Childs up and over on the sideline being looked at. So we'll have a new quarterback for the Cavemen here at the 1-yard line. They'll hand it off, and Broadbent's got the touchdown. So American Fork finishes it off, and they put another 6 points up on the board.
Well, they're not going anywhere. They're a couple of big plays on offense when we thought that we were going to see Skyridge just drop everybody deep, and they've let guys beat them down the seam. So a couple of big plays for American Fork and cut it to 3 scores.
So 4:06 still to go here in the third quarter. It's now a 20-point game. This to make it a 19-point game. Worthington. His kick is up and good. 4:06 to go. The Cavemen not going quietly here as they cut it to a 19-point game. Let's say we'll keep it here with 4:06 to go. You got an update on the Mountain Ridge Harriman game?
Fourth quarter, Mountain Ridge 24-8 over Harriman. I don't know how much time's left in the game, but it looks like Mountain Ridge is going to the semis.
How about that? First region title in school history this year for Mountain Ridge. They'll be their first ever trip to the semifinals and first time playing in Rice-Eccles Stadium.
Yeah, congratulations. I mean, it's not over yet, but Coach Nick Robbins and his staff have done a fantastic job there at Mountain Ridge. A bunch of the old guys from Alta, Coach Tails' staff are now there with Coach Robbins, and he's really taken the bull by the horns and done a fantastic job in his first year at Mountain Ridge.
So it'll be, if that result holds, it'll be Corner Canyon and Mountain Ridge in the first semifinal next week. And then it'll be Lone Peak against the winner of this one. $11 o'clock and 2:30. Have both those games here for you on KSL Sports Rewind. JJ and Sly will have the call. Dane and Jeff and Moose and all the Rewind folks will have the analysis of those games as Parker gets out past the numbers and out near the 35-yard line for a good return. Good night special teams wise for Briggs Parker on the night, but there's a flag back at the 17.
Well, he's a thoroughbred. He's got a great stride, just fast. Kind of just sneaks up on the defense, and next thing you know, he's by you.
He has the punt return touchdown tonight, and he also has 3 interceptions on the season. That's the tied for the team lead for Skyridge. There's a hold on Skyridge on that penalty, so it'll back it up to the 10-yard line. So that negates the big run from Parker. With 3:59 to go, you kind of saw Skyridge kind of take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit there, and now with it being a 3-score game here, they kind of have to turn it back up here for Sweet Wine in the offense.
Yeah, I think they brought in a couple of guys. See if American Fork can get another stop.
Going to fake the handoff to Tahi, and Sweet Wine with some moves. And Sweet Wine out past the 30 and to the 40, still fighting. out to the 44-yard line. A pick of a 34.
Man, you're up 3 touchdowns, and your superstar quarterback pulls the ball and runs. And I know you love the competitive nature, but you got another week to play. If it's me, I'm telling him, just hand the ball off.
That
what an athlete, though.
That officially puts him over 100 yards rushing on the night.
Yeah, he's just the best player on the field.
The Gun's got 3 offers to go play Division I football next year. As this time he will hand it off to Tahi, and Tahi stays in bounds
goal.
And fights his way for another first down. Gain of 11.
Staying inbounds, Lincoln Tidy.
It's like a wrecking ball.
Just the second carry for Tahi this second half.
Stayed in bounds. Really good job.
Just like that, 2 quick plays. Skyridge is into AF territory.
Yeah, they just want this clock to run.
Stepped out of bounds, so the clock stops at 3:18 to go. This one they'll hand off back to Tahi, and he's spun down for a gain of 2. Number 55 for the Cavemen on that one. That's Mitt Palmer with the tackle.
Probably going to see a lot of this. Just run the ball, try and stay ahead of the chains, run as much clock as you can, but continue to move the ball, and then they'll still throw it some maybe some play action over the top, something short underneath, but
take the handoff. Sweetwine going to throw this one on second down and has the room to take it himself. He's got another big gain on the ground as he steps out of bounds at the 20. Pickup of 23 on that one.
Great job. He recognizes coverage. His guys aren't there. He pulls it down. A little bit of pressure from that defensive end on the far side. He just gave him a running lane and he took it. And again, just big, fast, strong, athletic quarterback.
It's 2:33 as he steps out of bounds, so 1st and 10. Sweetwine throws to Oswald. Out of the first tackle, going for the pylon. Touchdown number 4, but hold the phone. The flag flies late.
Yeah, they're going to get Diesel Hunter, man. I don't like this call. Those guys on the outside, that's the toughest block in football, to be able to maintain that block for as long as he did it. And to me, he had control of the defender, and we don't have replay to look at it, but boy, it looked like a good block for me. And if I'm his wide receivers coach, I'm patting him on the back and telling him, good job. You're not going to get, you're not going to get that call every time, but it's at least an effort penalty.
So they do call the holding call on Hunter on that play. Back it up. It's a spot foul, so it stays 1st and 8 now.
They've got a little sucker route set up on that. They can come back and pump fake that screen, and that number 2 receiver will float out to the back of the end zone.
Send a man in motion, hand off to Tahi, who bounces his way to the 15, make it a 16. Pickup of 2.
Scoring the block of 54, scoring Casey Ensign. Number 3, Lincoln Tidy. Carrying the ball.
It'll be 2nd and 6 here.
2nd and 6.
I expect American Fork's got to start being a little bit more aggressive defensively, try and create a turnover, get to Sweetwine, because if they don't get to Sweetwine's probably throwing a touchdown pass.
Able to force Sweetwine into 3 interceptions in that last meeting. This one is connected over the middle to Hunter, and he gets wrestled down at the 4-yard line.
I love that they gave the ball to Hunter after he gets called for the hold down here on a questionable call. The coach says, look, we appreciate what you're doing. Gives him a chance to get in the end zone. Stop just short.
Clock running down into the final 90 seconds of the 3rd quarter. 1st and goal, Skyridge. Yeah, Sweetwine going to take it himself, and he's got his first rushing score of the night. Touchdown, Falcons.
That's almost impossible to stop at the goal line. When you've got to sell out and stop Ty, and Sweetwine pulls it, walks into the end zone.
So an efficient running drive there for Keneal Sweetwine. 61 yards just by himself on the ground on that drive alone, and he caps it off with 6 points. Odemon for the extra point. It's up and good. So Skyridge responds to the 2 American Fork touchdowns, and they keep it to a 26-point lead now with 1:19 to play here in our 3rd quarter. So we'll see American Fork next up on offense. They've had no problem moving the football the last 2 drives, though.
No, they've gotten over the top a couple of times. Some mistakes, I think, by the defensive backs for Skyridge. They haven't gotten to the quarterback the last couple of drives either. Skyridge hasn't. But when your offense is as proficient as theirs, 23 points is nothing. They're averaging 42 a game. They're up to 49. They could probably go to 60, 65. I would expect they'll probably pull back a little bit. Unless American Fork comes down and scores again really quick, they got to keep the gas down. But
Odom getting it teed up, ready to go. As Odom lets this fly, and it'll be into the end zone for a touchback. Want to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Our presenting sponsor, Fluence Media Agency. Tonight's game sponsors, also Northside Capital and Origin brand merch. Direct Meds, Live Fit Systems, Elite Terminal Services, Edge Homes, Heroic, Uncommon Effect, and Cornerstone Excavation and Development. Thank you guys for sponsoring our game tonight. Our final broadcast of the season.
Yeah, what a fantastic football season
It's been a fun one. It always goes by so fast.
Yeah, great players, great teams. I think kids just step up and make some really fantastic plays.
Here comes Afu out of a tackle and wrestled down at the 28-yard line. Picks up 8.
Carries the ball into the Falcon defense.
It amazes me every Sunday watching the NFL how many football players come out of the state of Utah and are playing in the NFL. And, every game there's 2 or 3 or 4, sometimes more, that have either played high school football here or college football here. And it's really grown in the last 30 or so years.
Really see a lot of recruits making it to the next level here in the state of Utah. As that one's thrown over the middle and caught. And I believe that's Hanshaw with the catch, and it is for a first down.
Yeah, really good throw there. He put it up high to the outside, kept it away from the defender. Comes down with another nice play. Try and get one or two more in before the end of this third quarter.
Final 30 seconds. Childs fakes the handoff, and look out! Immediately going down and coming up with a sack, Carter Seu.
Yeah, there had to have been some sort of a mix-up in the coverage there because he came untouched. And the first rule of pass protection is do not let the D-lineman come untouched. If anybody's coming untouched, let it be a linebacker. That time, Seu blew it up.
That will be the final play of this third quarter. The Skyridge Falcons, 12 minutes away from their 8th trip to Rice-Eccles Stadium. We'll bring you the final quarter. Coming up next, it's Falcons 49, Cavemen 23 on the Rewind Sports Network.
With affordable GLP-1 medication from Direct Meds, I've lost weight but gained lots of attention. From old college boyfriends, hi, to young college boys. Oh, honey. And my husband's obsessed.
She loves to make me jealous.
Well, as a woman over 50, losing weight was about as hard as getting my husband to cook anything but cereal.
Honey, where's the milk?
In your hand, babe.
Oh.
Visit directmeds.com today. Want to make out?
Sure.
Okay.
Welcome back. 12 minutes to go here in this 6A quarterfinal matchup. Skyridge up by 26, looking to get back to the semifinals, looking for their second state title in school history. That last one coming in 2022. Got a decent shot at making it, David.
Yeah, they've got the tools. They've got the O-line, the D-line. They've got the quarterback. They've got the receivers. It's, really, it's going to be a clash. They got to get past Lone Peak, and then
And how about that semifinal is going to be? That regular season game went to double overtime.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one next week.
Yeah, they're just right up the street here, and big-time rivals.
Childs over the middle. Great catch by Homestead for a first down. Going up and get it.
These are some gutsy receivers. Those are not easy catches. And especially when you know the safety's bearing down on you, you're going to take a shot. Homestead goes out after making the catch. Looks like he got a little dinged up. Hopefully he's okay.
How about Homestead? 2 catches now in the second half. That's 85 yards. 4 wideouts here for Childs in the offense. Gonna throw again, looking for Richards. Almost had a touchdown. Tipped right in front of him, as that was Parker that got a hand on it.
They just keep throwing post route after post route and attacking the middle of that Skyridge defense. Tell you what, the Corner Canyon coaches see that. Look out.
You mentioned about seeing all the talent from the state of Utah. We called the Corner Canyon American Fork game a couple of weeks ago. They have one of the video boards down there at Corner Canyon. They're just replaying alumni that are in the NFL and college. There's so many kids just out of that program alone that have made it into the next level. Pass near side. Good catch there by Hanshaw for a pickup of 7.
Yeah, I think in the 9 years that Alamateo was the head coach at Alta, we put 76 kids in college programs. And you know, Alta wasn't – that was after we'd split with Corner Canyon. And so on top of what Corner Canyon put in, we put in 76 kids in the last decade, and Skyridge and Lone Peak and Lehigh, and, man, the list goes on and on.
3rd and 3 here. Oh my goodness. Sayo in the backfield once again.
Oh, that hurt my back.
Oh my goodness. That is the second time he's gotten in the backfield unguarded. And that was one of the hardest hits I've seen all year.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. He hit him hard. Oh.
Loss of 2 brings up 4th down here. They'll reset the play clock. Cavemen need the 38 for a first down. Child's going to let it rip. Dean's got a little separation in and out of the hands, but a flag flies.
You know, Dean had a beat on that route. He got inside of him over the top. He stacked him. And Skyridge really didn't have any choice but to defend him that way, because if he doesn't do that, it's a touchdown.
And it's Sidwell in coverage, and he's a little slow getting up. He'll limp his way back to the sideline. As that will give American Fork a new set of downs, the 15-yard penalty.
So nice to have a big receiver like that out there. One year we had Harrison Handley, who was 6'7", and ended up playing tight end for the Utes. And Ammon Barker, who was 6'4", ended up playing outside receiver for Hawaii. And if they got inside leverage on a defensive back, there was no way that you could stop the ball. I mean, it just such an advantage to have those big, tall, strong receivers.
I'd say a lot of these receivers coming back next year. They do have a lot of talent at the receiver position. Of course, Child's a junior as well. He'll be back next year for the Cavemen. As Childs throws near side, almost intercepted, bobbled and incomplete. Here on the near side looking for Homestead.
Tough to throw to that zone coverage again when you've got 8. He's looking just for that quick 5-yard out on the boundary side, and defender knows he's got a safety over the top. He can just squat on that route. That's a tight window.
Going back to the talent for American Fork, you have Christian Hanshaw, who's had a couple catches tonight. He's a junior. You have Ty Homestead, who's made a couple catches in the second half. He's a sophomore. And, of course, Cash Taisi had some injuries this year. He's a sophomore as well. So a lot of talent still on this AF offense. As Child's going to let it rip for Richards in and out of the hands of Parker to bring up 3rd down. 10:23 to play.
Yeah, you know, American Fork, it's a tough way to finish a season losing to a crosstown rival, but really they've had a lot of highlights in this season. And, 2 quarterbacks playing is always a difficult situation. and they've somehow made it work. And I know Cash got hurt, but they've done a good job, and they've got a lot of talent down there. They've done a
3rd and 10. Child's far side. Richards lays out for the catch.
Yeah, I mean, American Fork beat 2 teams that are going to be in the semi.
Yeah, beat Lone Peak. Yeah.
And Mountain Ridge, right?
No, they did not. The Skyridge beat Mountain Ridge.
Oh, that's right. Skyridge beat Mountain Ridge.
8-yard catch.
But American Fork, looking at their schedule, they started the season 5-0. They had a great start. They beat West, who's the number 1 seed in 5A, at West, which was a tough game in that one.
Fantastic place to win a game.
They had the win against Lone Peak, and then they beat Lehigh last week. So they do have some big wins on the season.
Yeah, that Lehigh team coming into the season, I thought for sure they're going to be up the U.
Big play here for American Fork, 4th and 2. Hand off to Broadbent, bounces it outside and goes down. That's Parker and I believe number 11. That would be Hamoiai. And a flag flies at the end, so it'll back up Skyridge. But
I sure hope nobody said a bad word.
It's a turnover on downs at the moment. But a flag flies late. And we've seen language cost some people valuable time in the playoffs.
Yeah, the problem is it's a 4th quarter, so he'd have to miss 3 quarters. And I don't know. It's just PTSD from over the years having that happen.
So it's on Moiai.
So I think if he gets one more, he's out, right?
Yes.
Is that an unsportsmanlike?
It's an unsportsmanlike conduct, so if he gets a second one, he'll be done for the night.
Yeah,
but
I'd pull him out. I would not let him back in the ballgame.
If it's a language thing, that's an immediate ejection. So
yeah, so
it
must not have been the A level
language.
It must have been one of the B words.
So Sweetwine and the offense start 1st and 10 at the 11 or 10-yard line, and Sweetwine's going backwards.
Jeez,
good,
you don't want that
tackle there.
Hand it off.
That's Palmer with the tackle.
Quarterback Keith on the play.
Loss of 2.
I'd be surprised if they let Sweetwine run the ball anymore.
It's now 13 carries for him. That's most for anybody for Skyridge tonight.
100 and something, 120 probably about by now.
He's up over that at least. I'd have to do the math on it.
Oh.
Sweetwine looking to throw now. Has room to run and elects to go that way and gets tackled at the 15-yard line.
It's a keep by Keneal Sweetwine.
Down to the
15-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Gain of 6 for Sweetwine on that one.
Number 65, Jaden Nah.
Or 151 is what his rushing total tonight.
Wow, 100
after that carry.
Jeez. What a player!
Has 4 passing touchdowns, has a rushing touchdown. It's been everywhere tonight for Skyridge. Sweetwine connects out to the 27.
Throws a dart right there.
Adam Warren's with a catch. That's his 2nd catch tonight. Gain of 12.
Kind of a fun little play action there. We call that dash motion, where you take 3 steps and then roll out of it. And rolling to his left, throwing a ball like that, that's special talent, special arm talent with Sweetwine.
Clock winding under 8 minutes now to go in this one tonight. Falcons in no rush here with 4 wideouts. Sweetwine still throwing. Going to take a deep shot. Adjusting into triple coverage and incomplete with Sanders. Skyridge wants a flag. They won't get one.
Yeah, probably not in a 26-point game.
They'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you want to keep this clock running. Get your guys out of here without anybody getting hurt. Skyridge's fans are pretty upset about that no call.
Sweetwine again has a lane. takes the contact and should have the first down.
And he bounces. It doesn't break. Camille Sweetwine.
Spot him right at the line here. We'll see if they give him the first down or not.
Close to a first down.
Yeah, if they wanted him to, he could run for 200 yards tonight.
First down.
Throw for 4 touchdowns.
He's at 160 now.
I mean, he's just that good.
Well, 161 yards rushing, and he's over 300 yards passing now.
This is a stout defense for American Fork. This is not what I expected to happen tonight.
American Fork, 7th ranked defense in 6A. And as a handoff, that one ball comes out. And Johnny on the spot there, I believe, is Sheffield. And it is. As Tahi puts that one on the turf.
He's got spun around and ball ripped out in the process. I was happy to see Sweetwine hand it off, though. I'm a little shell-shocked. I'm a Washington Commanders fan, and our quarterback got knocked out of the game when he should have been on the bench. So if I overstate this about Sweetwine, that's probably part of it.
Of course, referencing Jaden Daniels.
Oh, yeah. He's got a guy.
Sweetwine wide open as Oswald stays in bounds. Can't get out of the tackle inside the 10.
Once again, they go with that little post wheel. Oswald open again. A nice pirouette move on the sideline. Picked up an extra 10 yards. And
gain of 47 yards.
They're looking to break the 50 burger right here.
That's over 200 yards receiving now tonight for Talmadge Oswald. 3 touchdowns to his name as well.
We might have to get an extra.
We might have to give out extra helmet stickers tonight,
extra
Dave.
Helmet sticker.
For sure.
Run down to Tab Bank and grab an extra sticker for us because we're going to need it.
4 wideouts here. Sweetwine lost the handle on it for a moment. Tahi's wide open. Touchdown number 2 for Leakin Tahi, and they do eclipse the 50-point mark tonight.
Yeah, this really just turned into a showcase for the Skyridge offense. They're doing anything and everything they want.
6:12 still to play here as Skyridge has been dominant all night. Jumped out to a 14-0 lead early, never looked back. Odom's kick, up and good.
Wouldn't be surprised to see American Fork put their seniors in at this point.
American Fork coming into tonight. This is the interesting, I've talked about the depth or the future of American Fork. There's 10 seniors on this roster for American Fork.
That's not very many. 10 seniors is not very many.
When you look
at
the other side, Skyridge has got 37.
Yeah.
So.
And they might not have quite the numbers in their program, but that means they've got a lot of kids that are going to have good experience coming back next year. And I expect they'll probably be a pretty good football team.
So 6:12 to go, 56-23 is now your score, as it'll be Skyridge and Lone Peak in the 6A semifinals.
And now attention to the cheer and
As I mentioned, that will be the 5th meeting all time between Lone Peak and Skyridge in the playoffs. Skyridge has never beaten the Knights in the playoffs. Trying to break that trend this year.
Oh, I'm excited to see that. That's going to be a fun ball game. Both really good programs. Lone Peak's got their number, and so there's going to be a lot of extra motivation this week with Skyridge at practice. They're going to hear about it. They're going to know that this is the year they're going to knock Lone Peak off.
Skyridge 7-5 all time against Lone Peak, by the way. They've won the last 5 regular season meetings against Lone Peak, just haven't got it done in the postseason.
Just the playoffs, huh?
So back comes out the AF offense. It'll be Childs in there still at quarterback. Again, split time with Capono Manuela for the first half of the season. He didn't earn the starting job until about week 7.
you know, they were really effective with it, too. I mean, it didn't feel like there was a whole lot of drop-off with either one of them coming into the ball game. Fairly complimentary games.
Wide open is Homestead near side. So if we look ahead with the clock now runs here, we have our 6A semi set. We talked about Skyridge and Lone Peak. That will be the marquee game of the 2-1s. Corner Canyon will get Mountain Ridge in the other one. We mentioned Sentinels having a breakout season, their best in school history. Corner Canyon's the juggernaut we all have known so far. What do you see out of these two quarter or semifinal matchups?
Somehow Mountain Ridge has got to muddy up that game. They've got to make it ugly and dirty and difficult for Corner Canyon. I mean, you want to say that you're going to come up and press their guys and beat them and be physical with them, but the reality is those Corner Canyon receivers are fantastic athletes. But somehow they've got to find a way to get in the head of Corner Canyon and stick around, get a turnover or two in the first part of the game, get a big score on defense. Something big like that's got to happen for Mountain Ridge. But, you know, we saw it. These guys, you know, Corner Canyon got beat this year in a game that, you know, they didn't play very well. And high school kids, they're 16, 17-year-old kids, there are going to be games where they don't play very well.
There's a good catch from Hanshaw on that last play, and Childs is spun around right at the line of scrimmage over there.
Yeah, and, you know, Coach Robinson's done a fantastic job in his first year. He's going up against Eric Kerr, who's, you know.
How about the two offenses you're going to see in that game? Say Jackson Hunt's top 3 quarterback statistic-wise in the state of Utah. He'd probably be top 1 if Trade Messenger wasn't playing anymore.
Yeah.
And then you have everything that Helaman Kasuga's done in that offense at Corner Canyon. That should be a really fun one to watch between those two high-powered offenses.
Yeah, the key is Mountain Ridge has got to stay within striking distance in that first half. They've got to stick around.
Good catch into heavy coverage there by Hanshaw. Oh, no, excuse. Yeah, that's Hanshaw. It's been effective tonight, Christian Hanshaw. It's been him and David Dean really been the two big receivers for Childs tonight.
Childs has had a really good game. I mean, he hasn't really made any mistakes. He's taken care of the ball. He's delivered the ball on time and put it in places where his guys can catch the ball. It just, you know, this Skyridge offense has been unstoppable.
1st and 10, Childs going to let it rip, looking for Homestead. Double coverage and broken up.
Yeah, just unable to get the ball. He had him over the top. If he could have put that into the middle of the end zone, he would have had that. Just not quite able to get that ball far enough.
3:50 to play. Clock stops with the incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Mountain Ridge is going to need to hit Helaman Kasuga a lot. They're going to have to get to him. Somehow, individual effort has, you know, got to make a difference, and somebody's going to have to really step up for Mountain Ridge because Corner Canyon looks fantastic.
Defenses look good the last 2 games for the Sentinels. Throw over the middle is incomplete. They only allow 8 points to Harriman tonight in that rematch. Only allowed 8 points to Harriman in the other game as well. Harriman, one of the top teams.
That's a big time rivalry for Mountain Ridge and Harriman. You know, for the rest of the state, nobody probably really thinks about that, but inside of those two programs, you want to beat your crosstown rival. And so for Mountain Ridge to have beat them twice this year, and especially after having lost a bunch of kids that went over to Harriman, that's got to feel really good for Coach Robbins.
3rd and 10. Child's going to keep it himself. He's got some room and tripped up at the 29-yard line. Harriman and Mountain Ridge, probably the 2 closest schools vicinity-wise. They're right down the road from each other, probably as close as Skyridge is to Lone Peak.
Yeah, a lot of really good football right in this part of the town, part of the state.
Have some really good football. That south end of the valley in Salt Lake and the north end of Utah County. Really a lot of high-talent football here.
Yeah, and good coaching. There's some really fantastic coaches in the state of Utah.
Look at Coach Beam on the American Fork side, 16th season at the helm at American Fork. As this will be broken up, and that will be a turnover on downs. And that'll bring the Skyridge offense back out here, and that should be it for the first string offense. We'll see.
tackle. It's a turnover on down, Skyridge Falcons.
Yeah, this is the time where your seniors that don't play a lot, you got to get them in the ball game, get them some reps, get them some time. So you're going to see a bunch of guys who probably haven't played since the JV season ended.
And
first thing you want to watch is the quarterback exchange. Usually the first or second snap with the new guys in. That's the high likelihood of a fumble snap or something. So
Jagger Fontaine is now in at quarterback and hands it off on first down as the clock will run down the final 3 minutes of the season here for American Fork. Mentioned great season, 7-4, had 6-4 in the regular season. Had a great start to the first half of the year.
And, when you play such a tough schedule.
We talked about it being the gauntlet of the entire state of Utah being this region. No team went undefeated in region play.
And then you got to play 2 of your region opponents in the playoffs. It's just a tough deal for American Fork because they earned their way in. They beat some good teams, and then they get stuck playing Lehigh and Skyridge. When, you flip things around a little bit, you may end up with 3 out of the 4 teams from Region 3.
Under 2 minutes now to go, 3rd and 5 here. That was Beckham Bennett on the last carry, by the way, for Skyridge. In there running back, so Tahi's night done as well. Fontaine wide open here on the near side and incomplete. Intended for Maungaloa.
They're chanting that they believe they will win up 33.
4th down for Skyridge. They'll punt this one away with 1:36 left. Skyridge, this will be win number 9 for them on the season.
Yeah, and this obviously is a program that bases success on what happens up at the U every year because they get there every year, just about.
Yeah, it'll be now 8 out of 10 seasons they have made it. To Rice Eccles. Good tackle on the end of that one. Number 42 for the Falcons. Amanaki Levitow. So should see the final drive of the night here, depending on what happens.
See if we can't see some of the 5A scores. West over Bountiful, 14-3. That was close.
How about the Panthers looking for their first state title in a long time?
Yeah, they've got a great
They'll
team.
be going to Rice Eccles, I think, for the first time in a while.
Holy cow, look at that. Bright beat Fremont. Good for.
Still live, so not a final yet.
Not quite.
Orem handling Woods Cross as well. Looking to get back to Rice Eccles are the Tigers.
I think at this point, Orem's got to be the favorite. I love West. I love some of those kids I've coached and some of those coaches I've coached with. But that Orem team is stacked.
How about those 4 teams, though? If the results hold there, you'd have West, Springville, Fremont, and Orem. Some really talented 5A schools there.
Springville got a little test from Box Elder. Good for them.
Yeah, Box Elder, one of the better teams in their region this year. I think finished 2nd in their region behind Fremont. As Richards.
I'm shocked, Fremont. Tua Tagaloa and Celeste Moa, 2 of the better players to come out of Northern Utah in the last few years. And I know Coach Nate's going to be hurting a little bit after that one, and Coach Ben, but they'll come back strong again next year.
1:16 to play. 2nd and 1 here for American Fork. Trying to end the game on a positive note here. Childs over to Richards. And Richards will be gathered at the 40-yard line, not for a first down. Good night for Dyson Richards, over 100 yards receiving for him tonight.
Yeah, he's really had a nice game. Both he and David Dean.
Hey, good day for Childs, too. That's over 200 yards passing for him in this game. That's not to be overlooked. He threw for almost 300. I think he threw over 300 yards in the last game against Skyridge.
345 in their first matchup.
So good outing from Childs in the offense tonight. Again, finds Richards, and Richards is tackled inside the 35. Clock will continue to run.
Unfortunately, the formula for American Fork to beat Skyridge is to be able to run the ball, and they just weren't able to do that. Skyridge up front was just too stout. And even though they did have some success throwing the ball, when your offense puts 56 on the board, it's pretty.
Just about 30 yards rushing on the night for American Fork as a team. 2nd and 4. Over the middle, nice catch. Plenty of space here for Hanshaw, who's had a good game too. Down to the 15. That'll stop the clock with 13 seconds here. And American Fork is going to call a timeout and try and put points on the board here before this game ends.
Hey, why not?
Hey, I like the spirit. Say, go out and make a final statement there.
Yep, last week we saw Tim View's last play of the game, touchdown, even though their game was over. Goes out, Cole Eggleman goes out with a touchdown pass on his last play of his life. So
timeout, American Fork. We'll thank our sponsors one last time for tonight's game. Our presenting sponsor, Fluence Media Agency, and our game sponsors, Northside Capital and Origin Brand Merch. Also sponsored by Direct Meds, Better at Health. Live Fit Systems, Elite Terminal Services, Edge Homes, Built for Life. Heroic.com, stop hackers before they strike. And Uncommon Effects, simplify your business and let Uncommon Partners handle all your marketing and technology needs. And Cornerstone Excavation and Development. Lost my ability to talk for a moment. From the ground up, we build excellence. That's Cornerstone Excavation and Development. Be sure to stick around. We'll also give out our Tab Bank helmet stickers. I'm sure there's plenty of them to go around tonight. There's maybe one or two more plays here for American Fork. Throw to the end zone and incomplete, but a hold is going to be called. The flag flies.
Looks like American Fork's got a new quarterback in.
Yes, they put in number 18 for, that's Capono Manuela, who got hurt in that Lehigh game. Good to see him back out there. Manuela, one of the seniors on this team. Getting some final snaps there.
Childs is a junior, so he's coming back next year for American Fork. I like they're putting the senior in, give him a chance to maybe throw another touchdown pass before his career is over.
Mentioned Dyson Richards has had a good game tonight. He's one of the seniors as well. He's committed to Southern Utah. He'll play for the T-Birds in the next level. Final play of the game here, 8 seconds with Manuel at the helm. Throws to the end zone looking for Dean, and Dean's got the catch. Senior to senior connection in the corner to put a bow on this one.
Yeah, and even though they're looking at the scoreboard, they're bummed out that they lost, and this is the way their senior season ends. They're going to talk about that later tonight, tomorrow, and next week, and they're going to remember that. It's a nice moment to have as a senior to going out your last game.
That puts him at double-digit touchdowns on the season for Capono Manuela, 10 passing touchdowns, and Dean with 4 receiving touchdowns now on the year. And we'll see Jace Worthington.
Lining up is Jace Worthington.
Yet another junior on this squad. Takes the snap. Oh, the extra point's blocked. So Skyridge's defense gets one final say here. That one blocked by number 97, Admin Mongoloa. Able to get a paw on that one. So it stays 56-29. That will most likely be our final score tonight. Just awaiting one final kick with 2 seconds left. Skyridge, again, moving to 9-2 on the year. Looking for their second state title. Will be 2 games away from achieving that goal.
They'd likely have to beat a Corner Canyon team that they beat the last time.
Yeah, how about the gauntlet. You have to go through Lone Peak and Corner most likely to get to that second state title.
Well, they had a little bit of an off week last week. They had Copper Hills. It wasn't, a ton of over preparation needed for that game. So this was really their first big test of the playoffs, and they've just really obliterated American Fork tonight. So next week they're going to be going in on a high. They're going to feel good about themselves. We'll see what happens. That'll be a good one.
So this will be a touchback. Skyridge will get one final play here. We'll say they'll run one final play and call us a night.
Should we do our sticker?
You want to do our stickers now?
Well, we've got 30 seconds to talk about it for him to come out and kneel it out.
It'll be Fontaine in the offense. They'll come out and take the knee at the 20-yard line. We can give out our helmet stickers. Who's going to get your sticker tonight?
Well, purely from a statistical standpoint, Sweetwine was just the best player on the field. Every throw he made, every read he made, every decision he made seemed to be the right one, and he made some fantastic throws down the field, and he ran the ball really well. So he would be my pick, but boy, Talmadge Oswald with 3 touchdowns. I don't know how you don't give him one too.
I think we're going to give out a couple, so we'll give Sweetwine the helmet sticker. Over 150 yards rushing, over 300 yards passing tonight. I think he accounted for 5 touchdowns, both throwing and running tonight. He gets the helmet sticker. I will give one to Oswald as well. Over 200 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns for him in the game tonight. I'll give one to Briggs Parker as well for the punt return touchdown. Had a first one of the season for Skyridge as a team, so we'll throw one in there as well for him. Those helmet stickers are brought to you by Tab Bank, home with the Tab Spends Rewards checking account with 3.5 annual percentage yield on your account balance of 1% cash back on eligible purchases. The great rewards are just the beginning. Convenient online and mobile banking with no hidden or complex
The high school football in the state of Utah is as good as it's ever been. I've had a blast watching these two teams play, and I can't wait for next week's. Both 5A and 6A are going to be fantastic semis.
So the quarterfinals are in the books. Skyridge moves on their 7th straight appearance in the semifinals, their 8th all-time in school history. They move on with a 56-29 win over American Fork. The Cavemen finished the season at 7-5. Skyridge now moves to 9-2. The attention now shifts to Salt Lake City and Rice-Eccles Stadium, the 6A semifinals next week, as Skyridge will take on Lone Peak. Corner Canyon takes on Mountain Ridge. We'll have all the coverage for you here on KSL Sports, KSLSports.com, the KSL Sports app. We'll have all of it for you. JJ and Sly on the call. Jeff and Dane will be there with all the analysis, and we'll lead you up to the games next week. It'll be a fun week as we crown our new state champions over the next 2 weeks here in the state of Utah. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight's broadcast. For Quinton behind the camera, for Dave at my side, I'm Matt Comas. Signing off, final score, the Skyridge Falcons 56, the American Fork Cavemen 29. The Falcons move on to the 6A semifinals. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend as well, and we will see you next week at Rice-Eccles for the 6A semifinals. Have a great night.
The Falcons